Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the think tank. So we have, what have what have I got go? See if I can turn me off. Let's see. Okay. I think I got this. So we have that press conference for an update on the 4 students that were brutally attacked in Moscow. Let me see here. Should be starting in about 9 minutes. And where are we here? Is this where we're going to be? No, it's not the one. What the heck did I do now? Go figure. So, what are you guys thinking as far as this case? Do you think that the girls knew somebody from this area, or do you think that this is somebody going through the area? Let me try this now. They're also talking about a stalker, aren't they? And I'm not too sure. I haven't looked into that a lot, but I have got a few things pinned that we can look at when we're done here. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. Okay. Alrighty here. Okay, let me find this. I don't know what the heck I've done, but I will be on it. Hey, I'm Mexi. So I just closed out my feed that I wasn't supposed to, so now I'm searching it down again. Let's see here. Well, damn, eh? Leave it to me, of course. Still have a couple more minutes, so I'm not in trouble yet. Right. Okay, finally. My word. Here we go, guys. Leave it to me. They're just sitting in there getting ready. There we go. Yeah, so I was going through and right, Mexi.
My name is Chief James Fry with Moscow Police Department. The last spelling of my name is F-R-Y. I'd like to introduce Moscow Police Captain Roger Lanier, Colonel Kedrick Wells of the Idaho State Police, University of Idaho President Scott Green, Dean of Students for the University of Idaho, Blaine Eccles, and Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson. This incident has shaken our community, has continued to shake our community, and we continue to mourn for the victims. We will continue to vigorously pursue the investigation and pursue justice in this case. It is a complex and terrible crime, and it will take some time to resolve. Today, we want to clarify what we know and where we're at in this investigation. Our primary goal is public safety and to get a completion of this case and bring someone to justice. We continue to dedicate all the resources to this investigation. We've had 646 tips received, and all will be processed, vetted, investigated, and cleared. We've done over 90 interviews in this case so far, and the Moscow Police Department is utilizing the assistance from the Idaho State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and Tic Toc County Sheriff's Office. The personnel that has been assigned to this from the Moscow Police Department is 4 detectives, 24 officers, and 5 support staff. Federal Bureau of Investigators, we have 22 investigators in Moscow, 20 additional are assigned and located in the Treasure Valley, Salt Lake City, Utah, and West Virginia. We have 2 behavior analysis individuals from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. For the Idaho State Police, we have 20 investigators, a public information officer, ISP forensic services, and a crime scene team. We have 15 uniformed troopers to assist our community to help provide the additional resources for our patrols. Detectives are looking to develop any content that would help us in this event. Anyone who has observed any notable behavior or has any video surveillance or can provide relevant information about these murders, please call our tip line at 208-883-7180. Or you can email the tip line and that is tipline@ci.moscow.id.us. At this time, I would like to introduce Captain Lanier to give you some additional information.
Good afternoon. My name is Roger Lanier. I'm a captain over the operations division for the Moscow Police Department. My last name is spelled Lanier. I just want to first state that this tragic murder has shaken the community. It's been very hard for members of the community, and it's been equally difficult for our officers and for the investigators. We will continue to put all of our resources towards investigating and bringing this to a resolution. Here's what we've determined so far. On the evening of November 12th, Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mulligan were at a local bar and were later at a food truck in downtown Moscow. They arrived home at approximately 1:45 a.m. on the morning of November 13th. Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were at the Sigma Chi house before also arriving home at approximately 1:45 a.m. 2 surviving roommates were also out in the community, and they returned home at approximately 1 a.m. and did not wake up until later that morning. On the morning of November 13th at 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed to the Whitcomb Dispatch Center reporting an unconscious person. The call originated from inside the residence and was made from the phone of one of the surviving roommates. Moscow Police Department officers responded and located 4 victims, 2 on the 2nd floor and 2 on the 3rd floor. The Tic Toc County coroners conducted autopsies, and detectives have been provided with the results of those autopsies. We know that the autopsies confirmed the identity of the 4 victims. determined the cause and manner of death as homicide by stabbing, and determined that it was likely all 4 victims who were asleep during the attack. Some of the victims had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of sexual assault. Investigators have determined the 2 areas of interest within the city and have provided maps which are on our Facebook page and on our website. And these are areas that they have canvassed for additional surveillance video and tips, and have contacted several residents in the areas. The areas are generally south of Taylor Avenue to Palouse River Drive and west of Highway 95. Detectives have also canvassed several other neighborhoods looking for evidence, looking for additional surveillance video, and contacting residents and speaking to them to see if they may have heard or seen something. I want to address several areas of speculation, conjecture, and misinformation that has circulated on social media platforms and otherwise. We do not believe the following individuals are involved in this crime: the 2 surviving roommates, a male seen at the grub truck food vendor downtown, specifically wearing a white hoodie, a private party who provided rides home to Kaylee and Madison in the early morning hour of November 13th. Additionally, the identity of the 911 caller and the 911 call have not been released, so any information out there is speculation about that. Investigators are aware that multiple phone calls from Madison and Kaylee's phone were made to a male subject. Any online reports stating that the victims had been tied and gagged are not accurate. Detectives seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road and searched those dumpsters in an effort to find additional evidence, but nothing of note was discovered. Early in the investigation, local businesses were canvassed in an effort to see if any fixed blade type knives may have recently been purchased. And currently, there are no suspects in custody, and we have not located a weapon. I want to assure you that every investigator involved will continue to put all of their resources and all of our partner agencies' resources into continuing this investigation. We do appreciate the community's support. We understand how stressful it is, and we will continue to work through this situation. At this time, I would like to turn the mic over to Colonel Wills from the Idaho State Police.
Thank you, Captain. My name is Kedrick Wills, KEDRICKWILLS, and I serve as the Director of the Idaho State Police. And I appreciate your attendance this afternoon as we talk about this horrific crime. The murders of Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee are a tragic loss to all of us. Nothing we can do will bring back these young lives. But we have an absolute commitment to working together to solve these senseless murders. The way that we know how to do that is partnerships. And our partnership with the Moscow Police Department, with the Idaho State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the University of Idaho to bring this issue to a conclusion and bring this to justice is absolute. We continue with Idaho State Police resources here on the ground in Moscow and throughout Idaho. Whatever the needs are, that's what we want to do. And the chief spoke about the Idaho State Police resources that are here, and he spoke about patrol resources. And we have those uniformed troopers here in Moscow and on the campus of the University of Idaho to help people to feel safe and to provide that security to the people that are here, both in the student body as well as in the community at large. And we will continue to do that as long as is necessary throughout this time. In addition, that's in addition to our forensics team that was here, to in addition to our investigative team and all the other state police resources. We know that people want answers. We want answers too. As was already mentioned, this is really, really difficult for those investigators, those dedicated professionals who are investigating this crime. And a lot of people have expressed their desire to help. And the best thing that most of people can do to help is to stop with any kind of rumors and just seek official information that comes out of the Moscow Police Department. Anything that we have that we can share from a law enforcement perspective, we will be sharing just as soon as we can, because that's how we think that we can get this to conclusion. Please rely on official sources of information, and please be patient. I understand that everybody wishes that this was solved already, but these things take time. It takes time to work through. You heard the stats of all the tips and everything, the interviews and everything that's been done. This takes time for our investigators to work through. So please be patient as we work through this investigation. We owe this to these young kids, to these young adults. We owe it to them. And we are absolutely dedicated to make sure that that happens. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce the University of Idaho President Scott Green.
Scott Green, President, University of Idaho. Last name spelled Green, like the color. First, we continue to extend our heartfelt condolences to the families and friends of the victims. As stated earlier, we want justice and appreciate the increased resources from the Idaho State Police and FBI that have been brought to bear on this crime. We fully appreciate and share the frustration of our students, employees, parents, and community members who continue to push for answers. While we wait for answers in the investigation, we've ramped up our security safety practices and are listening to students and supporting them in any way possible. The University of Idaho's primary focus now is on supporting our students and working to meet their varied needs. The police continue to inform us that they believe this was a targeted attack, but we recognize this is not good enough for some of our students who will want to complete their semester remotely until the person who committed the crime is in custody. We are also hearing that some students want to be back on campus and in Moscow because they gain comfort from the structure of classes and being with their friends and professors. All reactions and feelings are valid, and we all process these tragedies differently. We're asking instructors to plan for both sets of students as we finish the semester. We will be communicating decisions early this week so that families can discuss and plan their individual response over the Thanksgiving break. We learned a lot during COVID, and we have many course delivery options our faculty can deploy to meet student needs. Student and employee safety remain our priority. We have increased security patrols on campus since we were notified of this off-campus incident. We have also benefited from increased Idaho State Police presence on our campus, which we are grateful for. They have been a very visible force, and they will continue this dedicated presence on our campus into the foreseeable future. Importantly, they have also assigned resources to the community since this crime occurred off campus. In addition to the campus-wide precautions being taken, we offer the following safety and security features in our residence halls. We will continue our Safe Walk, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All residence halls are locked 24 hours a day and only accessible by students that live in the building. All guests must be accompanied by a resident of the building. Each residential community has a dedicated resident assistant staff and a live-in full-time resident director to help ensure a safe environment. Every evening, there are resident assistants that are on duty to perform safety and security rounds in their area, including during fall break. Housing and Resident Life always has at least 2 full-time staff members that are on call to provide support and emergency response 24 hours a day, including over the fall break. And our Learning Center Information Desk Living and Learning Center Information Desk is open 24 hours a day and will be open all of fall break for our students' needs. While we certainly hope there is a swift closure with the arrest of whoever is responsible for this crime, We must also be prepared for all the possibilities, including a lengthy investigation. We must balance safety concerns and the need to grieve, along with the long-term needs of our students and our employees. We're making security our top priority. We are also planning for the very real possibility that some students aren't comfortable returning to campus. We will do our best to meet the needs of all students. Our faculty is working hard over the break to consider alternative delivery methods. We will also continue making counseling services available for all our students and employees as we process our grief. The care and concern for our Vandal family is our primary role, and we take that very seriously. We are a Vandal family. Nothing means more to us than family. And I'd also like to just thank all those for the great outpouring of support we've received from the nation. It's been incredible time, and all those who stand in solidarity with us, just know it means a great deal to us. Thank you.
So we're going to open it up at this time to about 8 to 10 questions. We ask that only one question is asked per person, please. And I would also like to just see if there's an Argonaut reporter here. I think it's only fair to give our student reporter the first shot.
Speak up if you're in the room, if you're from the
Mayor?
Argonaut. Are you from the Argonaut?
Are you from the University of Idaho Argonaut? Is anybody from the University of Idaho Argonaut? Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ted Williams, Fox News. You all have said that these killings are targeted. Can you share with us why you believe they are targeted killings? And do you know who, if any, of the victims were the actual targets of the killings?
As we stated earlier in the previous press release or press conference, we believe they're targeted because we take a totality of all the circumstances that we're looking at. Do we know any one person that it was targeted? We're not able to say at this point in time due to our investigation, but we still believe that. But we, like I said, we take a totality of everything that we're looking at.
Chief Glenn Mosley, Idaho Public Radio here in Moscow. On the resources, do you have the resources that you need?
We do have the resources. It is an incredible outpouring of what we receive from the Idaho State Police and from the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Lake County. Anything we ask for is given. So at any time, if we need additional, all I have to do is call the colonel, and he will provide that. He's already guaranteed me that, and I know the FBI has said the same thing.
Hi, Emma Epperly from the Spokesman Review. I know you've said you're not going to release who the 911 caller was, but was the killer the 911 caller?
I will tell you no.
Can you clarify, you said it was made from the roommate's phone, but you didn't say the roommate made the call. So did the roommate make the call on the roommate's phone, or can you clarify if it's another individual made the call?
Actually, if we could just go to this one first. And
Well, it's a follow-up, that's why I wanted to.
so what I'll say to that is it was made from the roommate's call or phone, excuse me. And we're not going to divulge who made that call to be, it's part of our investigation still. And when we get ready to release that, we will.
Hi, Christina Corbin with Fox News. The male subject whom the women called, has he been ruled out as a suspect or person of interest?
Everything that we have taken from those calls, we have followed up on, we've cleared, and we believe that there's no connection there.
Gotti Schwartz, NBC News. Just following up on the 911 call, you said that you don't believe that's the killer. Can you conclusively rule out the person that called 911 from inside the home as a suspect in this case?
Can you go ahead and just ask that one more time, please?
The person that was inside the home that called 911 that was not one of the roommates. Can you conclusively rule that person out as a suspect at this point?
I don't think I said that it wasn't one of the roommates. I said that it was used with the roommate's phone.
I believe somebody asked if that was the killer, and you said no.
No, that's correct.
Was there someone there other than the two roommates when police responded to the home?
So will you clarify that for me?
You're not confirming a roommate called 911, but you used the roommate's phone. So was there someone else at the home other than those two roommates?
There was other friends that had arrived at the location.
How many? And was that who made the call?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure at this time, to be quite honest.
Do you guys have any idea if the killer's still within the community, or are you looking outside the community for the killer in terms of their physical location?
We are looking everywhere that evidence would lead us. I can't say if the person's here. I can't say what community the person's in. We're utilizing every resource we can to make that location of that individual. And part of that is the safety of our community is paramount. And that's why we brought in the resource that we brought in to keep our community as safe as we can.
Being so close to the border, does that make it kind of automatically an interstate investigation? Can you comment on that?
I cannot comment on that. I'm not even aware.
You could look in Washington at all, I guess, for.
We're looking everywhere. I'm going to take 2 more questions.
Do you still believe this attack was done by one perpetrator? And if so, how does one individual kill 4 people at night and not wake up the other 2 roommates?
Our investigation will continue to look at all avenues of that investigation. I cannot disclose any of that information. I don't even know that information at this point in time, and that's why we're continuing to investigate.
You don't know how this happened without the other 2 roommates hearing it or waking up or noticing?
We do not. One more question.
Hi, Angela Palermo, Idaho Statesman. In the press release yesterday, you confirmed that the victims were found on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the home. Can you say which of the victims were found where?
I'm not going to go ahead and disclose that information. They were found on the 2nd and 3rd floor. And that's as far as we're going to go with that part of the investigation too, because all those key pieces do come to play later. So we do thank you. We thank you for meeting with us. We thank you for helping get information out. And I can assure you, we will continue to work hard. We will continue to do everything we can to solve this. So thank you.
Is this related to any animal mutilation? Are you able to talk to your colleagues before? This person will strike again. In terms of etymology, do you think the victims might be connected?
So there we go. Whole lot of nothing again, guys, eh? Wow. Where am I here? Right there. Yeah. So, Mexi, this is what made you so cranky the other day. Pretty much, right, James? They're creating a whole lot of unnecessary drama by not giving out simple things. You know, like, was it one of the roommates that made that call? Yes or no is good. We're not asking for a name, but definitely making things a little bit worse on everyone, I'm thinking. So what do you guys think of what just happened there? Yeah. There you go. Were they all in their rooms? I think that was one of the very few things that he didn't even give us a little hint on that, did he? Yeah, I would like to know still how they're figuring it was targeted. I haven't figured that one out yet. If it was targeted, wouldn't they have a better idea who it was? And if it's, what would make them think it was targeted? You know, there's things that have been going on in that town, like that dog that we were talking about. And then they've also been talking about someone possibly stalking Kaylee. So is it something like that? Or is it, yeah, the dog, right, Shauna? It's just like, what the hell? And like we were saying earlier, with that person that did this, they should be looking for that person regardless, because if he didn't do this, he's not far off from doing something similar in my mind. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to pop over here. So, yeah, murdered had a stalker, unverified, police say. The Moscow Police Department will provide an update into, okay, we just went through that. On Tuesday, they wrote on their Facebook page that they have looked into hundreds of tips. And the one of the victims, 21-year-old Kaylee Goncalves, had a stalker, but they were unable to verify those claims. Investigators also clarified that they believe the weapon was a fixed blade knife. And they're talking about that Rambo style, right? It's scary looking, the knife that they're looking at. So they're telling us the ages of everybody and believed to have been stabbed to death in their sleep the night before. Okay, it's telling us where everybody was and about the food truck. The other two roommates were home and had been out, but they returned home by 1 a.m. that night. They were not injured. A 911 call came into MPD around noon that Sunday, reporting that there was an unconscious person at the house. Police say surviving roommates called for help after finding one of the victims unconscious. So they're saying one of the roommates called for help, believing that they had passed out and were not waking up. I don't quite understand all of that yet either, but that's what they're saying. The police arrived and they found all 4 victims on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the house. Police say the surviving roommates had a private party driver who drove 2 of the victims home the night before. So I think that's Kaylee and Maddie that they're talking about. They keep talking about a private driver. No damage to the front door of the home, and it was unlocked when the police arrived. So, okay, that's interesting also, because was it unlocked or was it open? Ah. Oh my goodness. Isn't that interesting? Based on details at the scene, police believe the killings were isolated, targeted attack on the victims. However, cautioned people in the area to stay vigilant and report suspicious activities. Okay, then. So they're saying in that article that it was one of the other roommates that made that phone call. And then they're now saying that the door was unlocked. So I think a person's going to have to try and figure out. They're making conflicting statements. I wonder if they read their own or listen to their own press reports. Speculations run rampant. I'm just wondering if there's anything in here that we can look at as far as the door. Locals feared the 2. Okay, this is telling us a little bit about that dog. Speculations run rampant. Police have yet to name a suspect and have been cagey. That's a very good word. They've been cagey about releasing details, creating a vacuum of information that has been filled with rumor. And that's exactly what's been happening. You know, they are not giving us enough to, they're only making it worse. They're giving us more questions than answers. In the latest update, update. MPD investigators said they received hundreds of tips. Okay. Rumors have been swirling, home to about 2,500, and about the reports of a skinned dog. And the dog was found 3 weeks before. Okay. I thought it was 2. Locals feared that the 2 grotesque incidents were connected, but police say that the dog was unrelated. So again, how would they know if the dog was unrelated if they don't know who did either acts? Police also discount a report about deceased animals being left on a local resident's property as connected to the case, saying those incidents were likely caused by wildlife. So what the hell is that? Speculation about the animals may have fueled because officers found a dog at the scene of the crime the night of the incident. But that dog was unharmed. They had it looked like a golden doodle that I think it was Maddie. I'll have to double check. One of the girls owned this dog, and she shared it with her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. They're not. It's a little bit confusing, but with that too. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, I think she stopped. Okay, so let me see here. It's unclear what is driving rumors about Goncalves. I can't say her last name, Goncalves, having a stalker, but police did not rule out an individual who was seen. Oh, sorry, did rule out. Yeah. The guy that was at the gut truck there watching the girls, he has been ruled out. He was wearing the hat and then pulled his hoodie over top of the hat, that kid. Unconfirmed video that was posted to Twitter by local TV reporter John Webb appears to show the surveillance footage in question. A single man. Yes. Let's see here. So there's the girls and then this guy. He's been ruled out. And there's the girls there. Oh. So just, 2 hours after this. Heartbreaking. Okay. In a press release, Moscow police cautioned the public against believing information that was not delivered through official channels, saying rumors and speculation continue circulating about the ongoing investigation. Well, we just listened to why that happens, right? Now, this is horrible because this isn't even close to the truth. The public not to rely on rumors and remains committed to keeping the public informed. So that's not what they're doing. They're adding fuel to a fire. Investigators also added that online reports about the victim being those were inaccurate too, that they were tied and gagged. Moscow police have faced criticism for the lack of information released, no doubt, which has rocked the local community to its core and left the University of Idaho campus deserted ahead of American Thanksgiving. Yeah, like we were saying earlier, my child wouldn't be going back. No. One of the parents of the victims, Ethan Chapin, who was 20, even took aim at investigators' tight-lipped approach, writing in an email to the Associated Press that there is a lack of information from the University of Idaho and the local police, which only fuels false rumors and innuendo in the press and social media. And that's the thing. The silence further compounds our family's agony after our son's murder. Jim Chapin wrote, "For Ethan and his 3 dear friends slain in Moscow and all of our families, I urge officials to speak the truth, share what they know, find the assailant, and protect our greater community." Yeah, what they're doing is not good. It's like
We wanted the tricked out stroller, but we also want to keep traveling.
I'll mute that. For the life of me, I can't figure out why they think this is a good technique. Okay, that's him. That's them
We
again.
have learned that Ethan and Xana were at a party on campus, and Madison and Kaylee were at a downtown bar. They arrived home sometime after 1:45. If anyone in our community or across our nation has any information about these times or the victims' whereabouts,
Can you imagine these terrified students? Unreal.
please call our tip line at 208-883-7180. Based on details of the scene, we believe this was an isolated, targeted attack on our victims. We do not have a suspect at this time, and that individual is still out there.
So there we go. He said it once again. They don't have a suspect, but they're telling you that it's targeted, and they're telling us that these things that are happening to the animals are not part of this. I do not understand.
We cannot say that there's no threat to the community. And as we have stated, please stay vigilant, report any suspicious activity, and be aware of your surroundings.
And there he contradicts himself. Targeted attack, but be aware of your surroundings.
At all times.
To us, this crime and the loss of these young lives is just simply beyond comprehension. While our small community is certainly not immune to such things, it's not a situation our close-knit campus is used to dealing with. First, my deepest condolences to the families and friends of Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, and Madison.
Oh, this poor man, he's just heartbroken. Did you guys notice this one over here at the end there when they were asking him all the different questions that he was fumbling to not answer? His face was getting redder and redder and redder, and then he basically just got out of there.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Their loss has been devastating, and they were bright lights in our community and are deeply missed and remain in our thoughts and our prayers.
Mm. Oh. Police have determined that the 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed and likely ambushed while they were sleeping in the early hours of November 13th. A fixed blade knife. The injuries were to the chest and upper body, and they are saying that the person had to have been pretty angry in order to be able to do this to 4 different people. So maybe that's where they're saying that because it was that happened this way, that maybe that's why they're thinking that it's isolated. I can't figure out why they think it's isolated. They all appeared to be close friends. Around 1:30, okay, it shows the girls at the gut truck. And all 4 of the victims arrived home at the 1122 King Road residence around 1:45 p.m. And Chapin decided to sleep over with his girlfriend. The victims lived on the 2nd and 3rd floors. The 4 victims were stabbed at around 3 to 4 a.m. according to the coroner's office. The coroner said that 4 victims were likely asleep. Some had defensive wounds, and each had multiple injuries and no sign of SA. The 2 surviving roommates in the residence did not wake up until later in the morning and believed one of the victims on the second floor had passed out. They summoned other friends to the residence to help as the victim was not waking up. At 11:58, police received a 911 call from inside the residence with a report of an unconscious person. The call originated from one of the surviving roommates' cell phone, but multiple people talked to the 911 dispatcher before Moscow police arrived. When officers investigated the residence, they found all 4 of the victims on the second and third floors. So this part back here is kind of interesting. I was watching a program the other day, and this woman's husband lived in this place about 25 years ago, and it was only this part of the house that was built. So this other section back here all came after. It was like a very strange add-on, but maybe if this happened on, I don't understand how these guys didn't wake up. I'm trying to find out or figure out a way, I guess, that makes it make sense in my head how these other kids didn't hear this. The police do not believe the 2 surviving roommates were involved. As part of their investigation, police have seized the contents of 3 dumpsters on King Road to locate possible evidence. Investigators are also aware of multiple phone calls from the victims' gone calves and Mogan to a male, but they did not elaborate further. And as it turns out, he's the boyfriend, ex-boyfriend of, I think it was Kaylee, right? The Federal Bureau of Investigation is assisting in the case and have sent 22 investigators to Moscow. I'm going to have to double check that. Okay, the room on the second level is pushed back. So on top of the bottom room on the first floor is a living room and then a bedroom. And I'm assuming Xana was in the back of the living room. Yeah, it's really, really a strange, yeah, you did. I've got those actually. Let me take a boo. Yeah, the house has got like a really strange build to it, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, you and I message a lot. Way up here, I'm looking. There's so many cases right now with some activity that yeah, we're touching base on a whole bunch of things all at once, aren't we? Mm. Looking. I think I put it over here. Okay, Maxie. Looking. There we go. Okay. I got it. No. Oh, my word. Looking. not looking. Let me see this here. Yeah, that's a thanks, Mexi. Let's go take a peek. Okay, no. Okay. So this is a really good, gives you a good idea how that house was kind of put together. They call it apartments, right? What a great idea to use a drone. Yeah, look at that, eh? It's just... They've sure been working hard at this. I will give them that. They just need to open up a little bit. Okay. There we go. So there we go again. Gives us an idea. Okay. First floor. Furnace room. That one door that they show, when I guess that would be this one back here. And then there's going to be a bedroom here and a bedroom there. And that's these windows right there and there. So the next floor, the bedroom and the living room, the bath, the kitchen and the bedroom, and then the patios are over there. So they must have basically added on this side. And then upstairs. There's that deck that we see that goes around the bathroom, hall, and bedroom. So let's see here. There are 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom on each floor. Upon entry through the door on the first floor, visitors immediately face a bathroom and a furnace room. And there are 2 bedrooms, one to the right and one to the left. There and there. Stairs lead to the second floor, where there are 2 more bedrooms and a bathroom, a living room and kitchen. There is also a sliding glass door attached to the kitchen, which is accessible from the ground because the house was built on a hill in the backyard. More stairs lead to the 3rd floor, where there are 2 more bedrooms, a bathroom, and a hallway. McClellan explained that there is about 20 feet of space between each bedroom. There's a 3rd door attached to the 3rd bedroom that leads to a balcony and is only accessible by going through the 3rd bedroom. So there you go. That's these ones here. The property manager said she frequently made scheduled visits to the student renters and the company's property near the campus. And sometimes they don't hear her when they enter, when they are wearing headphones while studying in their rooms. Okay. There was no signs of forced entry, and they initially responded to reports of an unconscious person. inside the kitchen there. Many students left campus early Thanksgiving break after the tragedy. Authorities are imploring anyone with information about these murders or the victims' whereabouts on the evenings before the attack. Call Moscow police at 208-883-7054. So maybe, does that give us a little bit better idea? Ugly looking house. Do you think they had something in the room to drown out the background noise? Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering as well. And I never really thought about them listening to their headsets. That didn't enter my mind. So let's see here. Isn't that illegal? Management can't just walk into your place. I would think so. Yeah, I wouldn't go for it, but I don't know if they had made previous arrangements. But no, I wouldn't have gone for it without notice. The room in the second level is pushed back, so on top of the bottom room. Right. Okay. Anything they're putting in the dark makes people jumpy. Let it be light, easier to see there. Absolutely. You know what gets me? The morning at like 3:30, there was cops no further than 100 yards from the home. Oh, wow. Wow, eh? Okay. No, they cannot, unless they have some sort of permission. I know I would require them to let me know they were on their way and unlock the door and tell them to come in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the only way I could kind of see it. Different states, companies, private landlords work it different. Yeah, they would have to be giving me notice. I wouldn't like someone just walking into my home, not expect that would not be safe for anybody. So guys, I am going to jump off. I'm going to do a little bit more digging. If you guys have any other information that you happen to find, feel free to message me at any given time. I'm on Discord pretty much off and on throughout the day. And my email, frankyrose@mail.com. So we will keep our eyes open and see if anything else comes out. See if they find out who hurt those animals. It's not a comparison. It's just I would really think that they would need to eliminate that person. They don't know who that person is right now, so I don't know how in their mind they're justifying saying that there's no correlation, no relation to the two crimes. So I'm going to be watching for that. So guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll absolutely see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.